Hello, this is Crypto CJ. Welcome to the Friday afternoon Zoom trade of the day. Those have mostly been Zooms, but that's okay. It's good to have people in here learning how to trade crypto and learning this altcoin alert system and how we can apply it to trades and make profit, preferably in a day or two. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we'll get started with our usual Bitcoin review. Okay, can we all see my Bitcoin day chart? All right, got a confident nod from John, so I will get going. All right, so this is the channel we've been looking at the last few weeks, made a few adjustments in it. On Tuesday, Bitcoin did break through briefly and tap the January low of 28.8, right around there. Then it bounced right back up. So this seems to be pretty good support, this 30 to 28.8 range. And I thought we were taking off again, but maybe not. Let's look at, yeah, it's a little clearer on the 4-hour view. This is the trend line I drew a couple of weeks ago, and it broke through day before yesterday, tested, looked like it was going to shoot up. Now it looks like it's testing again. So I'm optimistic for a bounce off this area here over the weekend. Then we can start working our way back up, maybe to the high 30s, low 40s. And then I'll be looking to take some profits on some longer term trades. And, because I think we're going to see some of this action. I could draw it, but you get the idea. So that's how I see Bitcoin. I mean, it's been pretty similar the last few weeks. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. I did want to look at Ethereum too. Any questions on Bitcoin? All right. With Ethereum, we've got, oh, I did draw a trend line. Okay. Don't need that. Just extend this. And it hasn't broken through yet. It's been on our, so I think once Ethereum breaks through, I bought this at 1900 thinking it would be a nice low point, but it's dropped even further. My test 1800. And let's see, where's our low on this? Oh, it's all the way down here. Well, the January low is probably, yeah, it's below 1,000. So let's hope we don't get that far, but it wouldn't surprise me to see 15, 1600 or something like that, and then a recovery on Ethereum. I've spent a lot more time and more attention on Ethereum the last few months, just because it's been in the news a lot, and it actually has practical uses where we view Bitcoin as a store of value, where Ethereum is actually being used in the crypto world for other applications and things like that. There's this new 1559 fork or upgrade coming out very soon, and that should make Ethereum faster and probably lower the fees. So the fees have been more reasonable last few weeks. So anyway, so any questions on Ethereum or Bitcoin before I move on? Okay. So let's look at Altcoin Alert. I've spent a little bit of time with this today. And I'm in XVS. I bought this yesterday. It was very bullish then, score of around 85. Yeah, I've got that chart handy. So what I did yesterday was I drew this trend line, and then I wanted it to show me that it was coming back from the drop from a couple days ago. So it punched over right around here, right around $20. And so I bought there. Unfortunately, that didn't hold and it dropped again. And I bought it again today. Right around here, right around 18. So that's my ladder buy position. If it drops again, I'll probably buy it again at 16, and then let's hope it doesn't do that. So, but again, if Bitcoin drops, tests that low that we just talked about, most likely XVS would too. But you know, I'm just looking for a recovery back to $20 again. That would give a nice overall profit to my two positions. So we know from those of you who are on the Altcoin Alert Tuesday afternoon call, you know, they were talking about that the stats show that Altcoin Alert has about a 70% you know, likelihood of going to 3% or above in they extended it to 72 hours. Or maybe it was 48, I can't recall, but it's a little over a day or two that you should get a 3%, but they didn't, you know, nail down the entry point. So I mean, is that immediately when altcoin alert, the AA score goes to 80 or above, and when you get that notification in the Slack group? I'm not sure, but
yeah, I got the numbers if you want them.
You've got what?
I've got those numbers from the other day.
Okay.
It was 72-hour window.
72. Okay.
And they said in 72 hours, if it goes to 80%, what was the total? It goes to 3%. Well, I've got all the specifics. I don't have a general number.
Okay. Did you take notes, or was that something you downloaded?
Notes. So they were reporting on 3%, 5%, and 10%. And the 3% was like 60 to 70% of the time within 72 hours.
Okay.
And then it goes down. 5% is less. It was like from 50 to 60%. And 10% was like 30% at the time, which is actually pretty good.
Yep.
except Dogecoin, which blew it out to 54%. But I don't know that he said a general thing. He had like 4 or 5 coins that he talked about, and those were the ranges.
Right.
So
right.
What you would be looking for was 72 hours and 3% would be a pretty good odds that you would hit 3% in 72 hours.
Yeah. So if my ladder buy comes back, which I have right about here, to 20, you know, I think I put my sell at 1975. So for my ladder buy, my first position would lose a little bit, but my second position would make over 8%. So you know, that'd be around 3 to 4% on the entire position. That's how that works. So anyway, that's XVS. So those of you who are watching this now actually have a better, you know, a better chance at entry than I did for my first position. So that's something you might want to look into. I don't like that at the moment on the 5 minutes, right on the SMA line. I'm usually looking for a dip sequence like this. You know, we've got, it's bubbling out 1, 2, 3, and almost a 4th. But if you got in here on the 3rd dip, you know, you get a little over 3% to the SMA line in an hour and a half. So that's a pretty good trade. So otherwise, you might want to wait for a candle or two to get beyond the SMA line. Pick it up here. It's only 1% to the top. It's actually less than 1% to the top of the SMA. Might look for a retrace back here. I mean, we know it was $20 yesterday because I bought it there. And then there's other potential retrace points here, you know, up to 5%. You know, that's from midnight today. It's dropped 7% since midnight. So pretty good retrace potential. However, it's Friday afternoon. You know how I feel about trading on Friday afternoons. You know, it's Saturday morning in Asia right now, and Australia and New Zealand and places like that. So they're chilling, eating their cereal, and not necessarily trading right now. So anyway, that's a little indirect shout out to you, Michael. Not sure if you noticed, but
Yeah, I did.
okay. Any questions on XVX before we look at a couple others?
Did we start out, was that still on the AA high numbers?
Yes, it was
Go back to your AA for a
this
second.
value here yesterday, and then today it's a little higher, 87.6.
Okay.
And this has made a few appearances on this list, and I've traded it a couple times with success. So I like that one.
Okay.
Not financial
Good.
advice though. I have no idea what it's going to do this weekend.
That's right.
Again, I'm ignoring coins that I don't know that well, or I don't trade on Binance, so I'm not familiar with Centivate or Voyager. Even though I think, is Voyager the one they talked about on Tuesday, John? Do you recall?
I don't recall offhand.
Yeah, it was one of the ones, Josh.
Yeah, actually, that's the numbers, the top of the list.
All right, let's Voyager, or let's look at that. NTV. Centivate is on KuCoin, and the wrapped version on Uniswap. It's a Bitcoin pair. I don't think it has a USD pair. SNTVT. Anyway, the volume looks kind of low to me when you see these, little horizontal
Happy.
candles. That's usually a sign of little to no trading activity for a period of time. So, and well, it's a lot of coins look like this compared to Bitcoin. Yeah, it doesn't have a USDT pair, so this doesn't really interest me.
I made a quick buck on that one day.
Okay. Did you use the Bitcoin or Ethereum pair?
I think I used the Bitcoin.
Okay.
I usually look to see which one has a better percentage or whatever before I trade with it. But I usually use the Bitcoin when I do that type of trading.
Yeah, I probably would too. I haven't tried Uniswap in a while. I tried to buy a couple of the Altcoin Alert new listings, and the gas fees were ridiculous, but they're supposed to be better now. So has anybody tried to make a Uniswap purchase in the last week or two? Okay. So I guess we could look at, OTU over the counter maybe? Yeah, there's practically no volume on this. So anyway, that's one of the reasons I don't really look at coins that are not on exchanges that I know of. Okay. Let's get out of that. And there was one other coin I wanted to look at on Altcoin Alert. ENJ and Anchor, pretty much the same score. Let's look at ENJ. And most of the coins look like this. They've lost, more than half their value since their highs in April or May. But we should get in the habit of looking at the day chart, the hour chart, and then the 5-minute chart. And any other chart you want to look at in between is fine too. So we had the big drop a few days ago, recovery, another drop. That's the big picture so far. And on the 5-minute, it's looking squeezy, hanging around the SMA line. I've had some success trading ENJ in the past. If it don't like the setup that much for a day trade right now, I'd probably wait for a dip on this one. Or if it punches through, maybe a retrace back to these levels earlier today, 5% here where it was at 2 in the morning Pacific. So, that's a good day trade. You probably want to go in small and be ready to ladder buy if it goes against you this weekend. But anyway, ENJ looks pretty similar to, what we just looked at. I forgot my XVS. That was it. Okay. And then there was a sort that I wanted to show you guys. We've kind of looked at it before. Yeah, I've got it up here now. The Elder Impulse Daily. Alan from the Slack group brought this to my attention. When coins have a bullish rating and a bullish long-term sentiment, these are coins that can potentially take off. Quant is kind of bumming me out. I had a low buy order at 44 on Coin Metro and it just missed it. Or I'd be double my money right now. I wouldn't have held it that long probably. But anyway, so if you click here and wait till you see the bullish signs and then look over here to see if there's bullish or very bullish on long-term sentiment as well, that's something you should check out. We can look at Quant. I think there's a listing on, should I look at this? No. KuCoin. Wow, $93. I don't know, this looks too late to me, but.
Yesterday, I saw a tweet from Coinbase when it was getting ready to post it. And so I jumped on KuCoin and actually bought some, let it go up $10 and sold it.
Sweet. I should have done something like that with Coin Metro, but I've had, I know those alerts, people have made money on them. I have the worst luck with them. Either I'm too late or I hold on to them a day or two and they go down. So maybe whoever.
I've had a couple of lucks. I follow all the exchanges on Twitter because they obviously are AA looks at Twitter, but if you're actually getting it straight from Twitter, it's a few minutes before AA.
Okay.
So I saw that they were getting ready to launch it yesterday on Coinbase, and I was like, let me see what happens here. And like I said, I found out who else was selling it. KuCoin had it, so I jumped on KuCoin, bought as much as I could, set my sell limits and all that fun stuff, and it pretty much hit it.
That's a good day trade, my friend. I like it.
Yeah.
Now, when you're looking on Twitter, are you just looking and you happen to see it, or do you have an alert set for something like that? I use Twitter a little bit, but I should probably use it more. But
yeah, I follow them, and those ones are the ones I get alerts for, because like I said, if you see something like that, if you jump on it quick enough, like if you wait, I hate to say this and don't get me wrong, because AA is really valuable. But if you wait for AA to pop up the alert, it's too late at that point.
Yeah, and that's the point I was making moments ago, and that my experience is it's usually too late. And but some people have had some success getting in anyway, or waiting until the day of the listing and then getting out, and maybe there's a second bump. I've tried that a couple times. It hasn't worked. I'm not saying that's AA's fault. They did make me aware of a new listing that I may not have known of otherwise. So, but your Twitter idea is probably better, and I'll have to educate myself better on using Twitter. If I can have specific alerts when specific people post, then that would be helpful. I just hadn't gotten around to figuring out how to do that, and now I'm feeling like I should have done that a long time ago.
Yeah, the only thing I follow are coins and NASCAR racing.
Okay. All right, let's got some chat entries here. Terry's in the house. Cool. Regarding the performance, he'd like to know the dates and times and occurrences. How many times coins hit 80, made that gain, and then maybe drawn down. Yeah, especially in the last 2 months. I agree. That's why I was hoping that Josh on Tuesday would give some more information about the timing of that 3%. Is it 3% from, you know, when we get the alert, or 3% from the lowest to the highest in that 72-hour time frame? I'm not sure. So yeah, I'd like to know that too. Yeah, King Crypto's pretty much reaffirming that. And okay, looks like we're just having some fun on the chat. So all right.
Sorry.
Did someone say something? Okay, I thought I heard someone chime in. Let's look at DOGE just made an appearance.
Before you go away from this screen, a minute ago when you were talking about Quant, you have that daily impulse is bullish and the long-term sentiment is very bullish, which you're saying is a very good sign. But the AA score, as you're sort of alluding to, is like, what is it, 50? So,
Yeah, and that tells me that, you know, the AA score thinks maybe it's run its course already.
yeah, that's what I can't reconcile between.
No, that's not the right way to say it. With the AA score, we're trying to get something that's gonna shoot up, that hasn't yet, that's going to. So that's a different, you know, different parameters than, say, you know, the long-term.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't think they quite contradict each other. It, you know, different setup on this software might help, but yeah, it's a question I get a lot when the values seem to contradict each other, but they're different time frames and different you know, different goals trying to reach. So yeah. And Terry's chiming in with different measurements. Sentiment from the AA score may not have anything to do with momentum on moving averages. Yeah, I would assume that. I think the sentiment's mostly the Twitter, the Twitterverse, so to speak. And yeah, so anyway, it's, you know, it's hard to read and be on leading a Zoom at the same time. So I know. But all right, so let's do one more sort, and let's look at the trading activity sort. Let's see if we can find something. Quant is there again. CeeLo. I've heard of this one too, but it's very bearish on the AA. I'm usually looking for neutral or better on this. Plus it's got a bearish daily elder impulse. So there's all kinds of contradictory stuff here. This one may have run its course as it's already got 20%. We already talked about Quant. And the rest of these are not really anything worth looking at, I think. So that's about all I have on my altcoin alert review. Any questions or any specific coins you guys want to look at?
Can you look at Solana?
Sure. Massimo wants to look at SOL.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Hopefully we'll go down to 20 again. I'll buy it.
Yeah, it's one I like a lot, and I've got it in my swing trade portfolio. So that's a 5-minute chart. Let's get an overall look. Yeah, it hit 57 back in May. And, you know, lost half its value. Like, it didn't lose as much as as most of the coins, and it came back somewhat stronger, and then it's dropped a little bit. So yeah, if you wanted at 20, or 25, this was the time to do it a couple days ago. So I don't know if it'll drop back down then again or not. I mean, we looked at the Bitcoin trend line on the 4-hour chart to open the show, and if this duplicates that, then that might happen again over the weekend or early next week. Otherwise, I think it's going to bounce off that. I'm going to draw a quick trend line on this. Yeah, I would expect to see something like, well, that's not a very good trend. See, what I'm thinking is it's gonna, I thought it would go up higher, bounce off this, and then take off. Maybe to capture some of the gains it lost in earlier this month, but I don't know. At this point,
looks like there's resistance all the way at the left, right there at the top of your blue box,
yeah,
25, 26. So it might get back down to that top of the box.
yeah, this rectangle here that John's talking about is my fib retracement, though it's a little out of date because I needed to pull this up here and make the changes accordingly. So this should be a little bit higher, but yeah, it's still in. This is usually a sweet spot to buy on longer term trades. So depending on how you use fibs, but that I did do a training on how I use Fibonacci retracements. If you do a search on YouTube for Crypto CJ Fibonacci, you'll probably find it. And it's about 12 minutes long and hopefully reasonably easy to follow. But this is what I like to look for opportunities for longer term trades. But that's a little outside the scope of Altcoin Alert. So let's go back to that. But Massimo was asking about this. It looks like the other coins we looked at, I'm not seeing a good day trade setup. It's 1.25% to this resistance, 4.5 to this one, and then yeah, a little over 5% to where we were in the wee hours of the morning, 8% here. So we'll see. Not sure if I'd look for this kind of recovery over the weekend due to lower volume, but it could happen. All right.
Thanks.
All right. Terry wants to look at DCR, actually NVM. Okay. Not that familiar. I've heard of this, but I'm not that familiar with it. Okay, ignore that, never mind. And Joe's asking about the Sun trade, trading at 25 bucks and the other one's 2 cents. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Actually, if anybody knows, that would be helpful, but I think he's talking about this value here that we've been seeing in Sun, this crazy chart.
Yep.
So I don't even know how to trade this. Maybe put in a small low buy order at, I don't know what this is. So can't really help you. Let's see if there's a different chart that we can look at. It's on Binance. I did look this up a couple days ago when I first saw those values, and Binance didn't really have a chart, or TradingView didn't have a chart I could really look at. It just sort of loaded error messages. So This looks kind of normal to me. Maybe it had one of those rebranding or merged with another coin or one of those things.
Oh,
But I'm speculating. I don't really know. And this is the mess I was looking at.
mhm.
I didn't know what to do with that. So 5-minute chart looks like most of the others we've looked at. So
Okay.
sorry, I don't have a better answer for you on that.
That's all right. No problem. No problem.
All right, there's a cool yeah, Steve made a nice nice post in here with some of the coins that the hedge funds are holding. I wrote down the website, but Steve's put in the chat that a list of those coins, and I'm going to ask him to email me.
What coins?
Some of the top coins that are held by hedge funds, smart money. So I'm going to ask Steve to email me that. And
What is it? I was looking at the picture of the most held crypto by hedge funds.
yeah, look in the chat and you'll see Steve's list.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Well, the list that I put in the chat is actually on that website. It's the yield farmers portfolio. So what you're day trading basically. Those are the best coins that they find for day trading.
oh, okay.
But additionally on that website, and I can send you the picture if you don't have it already, that lists, but I'm wondering if it's outdated, all the hedge funds, what they're holding. Because I think it was back from April. So I was just curious. I was trying to find one that was more current,
Right.
but they also want you to pay for their website. So I'm just looking around on the free part of it.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. So yeah, check out what Steve put in the chat. And yeah, most of these are coins I've heard of and even traded this week. So YFI was one I was looking at today. Comp also. So yeah, good stuff there. And Terry asked me to look at Dash. I'm not sure if I've looked at this in a while. Big pump back in May. Lost most of that. 78%. Ouch. 1 hour chart. Crashed on the 22nd like all the others. Came back. Dipping a little bit since then. 5-minute chart. Looking squeezy again. Probably want to wait for a dip sequence. Even the dip sequences don't look that good. So I got a text message from my day trading mentor today. He says, "I'm done trading this summer. I hate this market. None of the cycles complete." So I don't know. And somebody you trust and lean on is checking out for a while. That's it's a bit demoralizing. But anyway, we'll press on. So. Yeah, I'm not seeing any day trades here for Dash. I wouldn't want to buy this for only a 3%. It was up here quite a bit late in the evening yesterday. So I don't know. Not something that really necessarily interests me as a day trader, but could have some long-term ramifications or options or possibilities to get back to where it was before. The big dump in June or in May. So, all right, guys. Any other Any other questions? We're up on about 40 minutes, so Joe has raised his hand. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Okay.
Okay, I was curious, when do we have these Zoom calls? You know, how often?
I do this one on Fridays at 3 p.m. Pacific, and I do another one on Mondays at 5 p.m. Pacific.
Okay,
And
that's
on
really
Monday,
cool.
I also bring in another day trading software platform that I rely on quite a bit. So it's that one and Altcoin Alert. If you're on my email list, then
I am.
yeah, you should be getting those. You should be getting those reminders, and then you can also look. I always upload those Zooms if you want to watch them. I upload them to my YouTube channel. So.
I do. All right, great.
Right. Well, guys, I got a thing coming up pretty soon, so I'm going to head out a little early. If you have any other questions, email me at cryptocj13@gmail.com. Thanks for joining, and hopefully I'll see
you.
most of you on Monday. Have a
Thank
good
you.
weekend.
Thanks, CJ.
You
I
too.
did email
Thank
you
you.
that.
Bye.
Have a good one.
All right, bye.